What's going on? My name is Iceman. Welcome back to Falcon 4.0 Allied Force. Today we're going to do the last mission of Chapter 3, which is Mission 12, Navigation and Timing. After this mission, I'm going to skip ahead and do air-to-air refueling, is what I'm going to do. And then I'm gonna come back and do like the weapons, which is chapter 4. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. But like for the YouTube playlist, it'll be in order, so you don't have to worry about it. So navigation and timing is very important in the F-16 because you need to know how to get to where you need to go, and you also need to get there on time. So it says Mission 12, Navigation and Timing. Here's the image. It says every fighter pilot needs to know where they are and where they're going on the battlefield. This training mission covers the F-16 avionics to provide you with navigation information. So, the Inertial Navigation System, or INS. The primary F-16 navigation aid is the INS, Inertial Navigation System, which consists of a ring laser gyroscope that aligns to your initial parking location. When the jet is moved from this location, the stabilized gyro in the INS precesses or moves because of the movement of the aircraft. The INS continually uses this gyro precession to compute a new position of the jet based on aircraft movement. Aiding, but not replacing the INS, is the GPS or Global Positioning System. This system takes satellite information and calculates your aircraft position. GPS data is not used directly by the F-16, but GPS data is used to update the INS, so that if GPS data is lost due to enemy jamming, the F-16 pilot still has the internal and jam-proof INS to provide navigation. The INS will accumulate small errors over time, which means the longer you fly without GPS updates, the greater the margin of error present in the INS. Okay, so it is implemented. In all missions, you have a series of steer points, which are simply points on the terrain that are loaded into the INS. Figure 12-1. So this is figure 12-1. It says, these steer points are numbered in the order the pilot is expected to fly them. In most cases, the first steer point along the route would be steer point 2, and so on all the way to the target and back to the airfield. Your airfield will usually be steer point 1. The Falcon Allied Force pilot can select a specific steer point number, and then receive steering in the HUD, HSI, or on one of the MFDs or multifunction displays to that steer point. So what that means basically is, here are your steer points, these little circles with the numbers. So it's steer point 1 is the airfield, steer point 2 is here, so the pilot would take off from the airfield, go to steer point 2, then 3, 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9. So that is your flight plan. Steering cues. Change the selected steer point in the cockpit using the increment and decrement arrows below the Mark or 7 button on the Integrated Control Panel or ICP. Figure 12-2 shows the ICP with these arrows along with the Data Entry Display or DED on the right. The primary HUD steering cues and information. When you change the steer point, the number on the DED or Data Entry Display will change. Bring up the steer point display on the DED by pressing the STPT or steer point button on the ICP, which is button 4. So basically what this means, so what they're saying is, these are the increment decrement arrows here. So this is Mark 7 they were talking about. So this button here, so it's two buttons, up and down. So what this does is basically in the steer point page, so you hit click 4, steer point page, you increment or decrement the steer point selected. So right now selected is steer point 4, and here's the coordinates and elevation of that steer point and the time it will take you to get there, or the time it will be when you arrive is what that says. And these little arrows up and down, you see that, the arrows there, that means that you can modify this or change it using the increment decrement switch. And this man here means this is your manual mode. So basically, once you reach steer point 4, you have to manually select steer point 5 and increment. If it's set to auto, and you can change that by doing sequence, DCS right sequence, what we'll do is make it so that you can, this will change to auto, and basically when you arrive at steer point 4, it'll automatically switch to steer point 5. In this way, you can have the autopilot, if it's set appropriately, the autopilot fly the steer points in order. The reason why you wouldn't want it on auto, you want it on manual, is because, let's say you're bombing a target, and your target's at steer point 4, let's say. And your target's at steer point 4, and you want to go on for another pass. You don't want to have your jet navigate you to steer point 5 or away from the bombing area or the target. You want it to stay on steer point 4 where the target is, so that you can be navigated away or navigated back to the target. So figure 12-2. Figure 12-2 also shows the steer point information that's located in the lower right corner of the hood. So right here, these three lines, this, and this. The top line, B030.9, shows the exact distance in nautical miles to the selected steer point, 30.9 nautical miles in this case. So this line here shows your distance, technically your slant range to your selected steer point or target. So that's the exact distance slant range. And the B, you're probably wondering what the B means. B means barometric. So basically this will change from B to like D or F or whatever. And it basically, the letter here, basically, how do I explain this? The letter dictates what type of like system or sensor that this reading is being derived from. So for example, if this is baro, then it's using barometric data, I'm pretty sure, to calculate this range. However, it showed F for or Foxtrot. It would mean that the F-16 is using the distance displayed is being calculated or from the fire control radar. So the B and F is not really that important as much as what the number is. The middle line is the ETE, or estimated time en route. So this here, 4:18, which is the time in minutes and seconds to the selected steer point at your present airspeed. So basically what that means is, like, we're 30.9 nautical miles, right, from steer point 4, right, as you can see here. So what this means is it will take us at a current airspeed of 399 calibrated airspeed, it will take us 4 minutes and 18 seconds to reach that steer point. That's all that means, if we stay at the same airspeed. The bottom line shows the rounded distance in nautical miles to the selected steer point, followed by a greater than sign symbol with the steer point next to it. For example, 031 greater than symbol 03 means that you are about 31 nautical miles from steer point 3. Press Sierra to increment or Shift Sierra to decrement the steer point number. I'll get rid of those. So all that means is basically like a quick way to see how far away you are from the steer point and what steer point is selected here. So like instead of having to like read this and be like 30.9 nautical miles away from steer point 4, looking over your DED to see steer point 4 is selected, steer point 4 is selected, you can just look down here and it'll show 31 nautical miles from steer point 4. The steer point 3, no, figure 12-4. So getting to the selected. So, wait, sorry, wrong one. So this is figure 12-3. So, I'm not sure what this is having us look at. I'm not sure what this is having us look at here, but from what I'm understanding, yeah, it doesn't say anything. This is kind of bad, but figure 2-3, this shows the flight path marker here, going across here, the diamond. So this diamond is your current steer point, where it is on the terrain, and this little guy is your tadpole, or your steering cue. So it's a little circle with a line. Basically, the way this works, and they'll probably get into this. Yeah, they will. So let me continue here. So getting to the selected steer point. It's 12-4. Steering to the selected steer point can be accomplished with the horizontal situation indicator, horizontal situation display, and head-up display. When the navigation mode is selected on the DED, when the nav mode is selected in the DED, that's weird. Like when that mode is selected here, like on the HUD or whatever, when you're in, okay, this is weird. Just, okay, so scrap this sentence and just say, when nav mode is selected, forget this, when nav mode is selected, a diamond is displayed in the HUD when the selected steer point is in the HUD's field of view. So what they're talking about is this diamond here. This diamond is ground stabilized over the selected steer point. So what that means is the diamond does not like move with the aircraft. It moves in relation to the like aircraft's position, but not the aircraft itself. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's ground stabilized. So if you don't understand this, don't worry about it. It's not really that important. As you get close to the steer point, you should see it lying on the point on the ground that corresponds to the steer point coordinates. In this training mission, the diamond will be superimposed over a bridge that is one of the mission's steer points. This diamond is present in both the navigation, in both the nav and air to ground modes. The diamond is not present in the air-to-air modes because a very similar diamond symbol is used in air-to-air to show the position of the aimline missile seek ahead. But how do you find the steer point when it is off the HUD? Fortunately, there are other cues to know where to go. If the steer point is outside of the HUD, the diamond is shown with a cross through it, and it stays at the side of the HUD that is closest to the steer point. Try to turn the plane so the steer point moves outside of the HUD to see the effect. So basically what that means is if this symbol goes outside of the HUD field of view, it will have the same symbol but a cross through it, like an X or whatever. And it will show, basically tell you that would, but this symbol will be like, if we were to turn all the way to the right, this symbol would just shift to the left, all the way to the left, and have like an X through it. And it was showing that if you turn that direction, that's where the steer point is. So it's ideal field of view in that direction, to the left or whatever. The second, probably the most important steering cue is the tadpole, which consists of a small circle with a line attached. So it would be this guy here, small circle, line attached. This cue is present in the HUD and is always positioned level with the flight path marker. When the flight path marker is directly over or superimposed over the tadpole, the jet is heading directly for the selected steer point when the attached line points up. So what that means is that if this tadpole, the circle, is inside the middle of the flight path marker and this is pointing up, then you're going directly to the steer point. And you know, with that there, the steer point will also, or the steer point symbol will also be directly below the flight path marker. Remember that the flight path marker represents the path through the sky the jet is flying. The tadpole only provides two-dimensional steering. In other words, it will not command a climb or descent to a planned altitude. If the attached line points up, the steer point is somewhere in front of you. If it's down, it's behind you. And it will also go right or left, showing it's to the right of you or left of you or whatever. The HSI, or Horizontal Situation Indicator. The other reference cue for INS navigation is the HSI, Horizontal Situation Indicator, discussed in detail in the last training mission. Oh, okay, well, whatever. To refresh your memory, the previous training mission, okay. To refresh your memory, the HSI can display either INS or TACAN steering data. When the INS data is selected, the bearing pointer on the HSI points to the steer point heading on the HSI compass card. So that's the HSI. So basically, no, they don't. Damn it. Well, we talked about it before, so that's the HSI. Very simple. The HSD, or Horizontal Situation Display. So this is the Horizontal Situation Display. It's here. It can be on either MFD. INS steering can also be viewed on an MFD with the HSD, or Horizontal Situation Display, selected. Select the HSD. Press 2 for the 2D cockpit view to display an MFD. Push one of the three middle buttons on the bottom of the MFD. Select HSD from the upcoming list of avionics master modes. The HSD has a fixed aircraft cross in the center of the display, just like the HSI. So that's the aircraft symbol right there. The route of flight is displayed with lines connecting each steer point. So the steer point you have on the map, it's the same stuff. So these are the lines, and these circles are the steer points themselves. The steer points are represented by circles. So, yep, I did what I just said. And the HSD steer point circle that represents the selected steer point. The HSD steer point circle that represents the selected steer point flashes. So what that means is whatever steer point selected, the circle will flash. just so you know which one's selected. So it's a top-down view. To fly along the depicted route to a selected steer point, steer the fixed aircraft symbol over one of the route lines, so like here, towards the flashing circle. Changing steer points will not affect the HSD, but will of course change your HUD steering. The HSD is an excellent quick reference to show the pilot an overview of the route of flight. It's also very useful in providing INS steering information and situational awareness. I'm going to add that, with threat rings and stuff like that. Press Shift F11 to decrease the HSD scale, or Shift F12 to increase the scale. The one drawback to using the HSD is that you only have 2 MFDs, and one of them will usually display radar information. This leaves only one MFD for you to one MFD to use for other important displays. Still, the HSD is there if you need it. Getting to the selected steer point on time, very important. Steering cues are only part of the navigation equation. Time is the other. In the Falcon Allied Force campaign, it is important to arrive at the target on time. When you plan your mission, each steer point has a corresponding desired time, or ETA, estimated time of arrival. The F-16 has several displays to help you arrive at the proper place at the desired time. The first of these is the steer point display in the DED. Press the STPT or steer point 4 button on the ICP integrated control panel to display steer point data in the DED or data entry display. So figure 12-8 here. So this is the steer point. So this is pressing, when you press 4, you have to be on the CNI knob. So the communications navigations identification friend or foe page. So the regular CNI page. And then you press 4, and then you get here. The time displayed in the DED is the same time on your watch as if you're living in the Falcon Allied Force world. We recommend keeping a separate watch set to the time in Falcon Allied Force while you're flying in the game. Since time will rapidly advance when you select a campaign mission, you should set your watch to match the time just after takeoff. The other time that is important is how long it will take you to get to the selected steer point. This is called ETE, or estimated time en route. Displayed at the bottom right corner of the HUD, HUD. So how do fighter pilots get to those steer points on time? Well, in the F-16, a cue in the HUD tells you the exact airspeed to fly to get to the selected steer point at the planned time. The pilot also has the ability to select different cues for the HUD to display through the CRUS or cruise page. On the data command switch, DCS on the ICP, push the return or RTN button to get from the steer point DED display back to default view, or the CNI page. You always need to return to RTN, a mode, before you can access a new one from the ICP panel. Access the cruise page by pressing the cruise or 5 button. Use the SEQ or sequence mode of the DCS to cycle through the different pages. Each of the cruise pages can display different cues on the HUD for the pilot to fly in order to achieve the desired action. Press the SEO 0 or mode select button to select the cue to be displayed on the desired cruise page. Once selected, the title of the page will be drawn in inverse video, indicating that it is selected. So cruise, this is time over steer point. So this is selected as it's green. For this mission, we're going to use the cruise time over steer point option. Therefore, make sure that's the selected cruise option. If you have the vertical airspeed and altitude scales called up by pressing hotel, then the cue or caret is displayed to the right of the airspeed scale as shown below. If you adjust your airspeed to line up with this cue, then you will arrive at the selected steer point exactly at the correct time. Figure 12-9. So wait, what did it say? So this is the caret. So this is your current airspeed, right? This is your caret, the sideways V or Victor symbol. This sideways symbol here. So this is your caret. So you are basically at, gonna arrive at your steer point on time. Figure 12-9. The vertical airspeed and altitude scales are not caught up. The HUD displays a digital readout of the airspeed you fly. To get the selected steer point on time, keep the caret next to the digital readout. Figure 12-10 shows your plane being too fast. So the figure 12-10. So this is basically, you're going too fast because the caret is below. It's not lined up with this. Okay. Training mission overview. So basically you'll get to your steer point a bit early. And what you really don't want to do is have it to your steer point, or have it below your caret, because that means you'll be too late. Training mission overview. This mission starts with the jet established on a low-level route. Using the HSD in the HUD, you will practice navigating to each steer point on the route and arrive at the target steer point at the desired time. Initial conditions: airspeed 400 knots, altitude 5,000 feet above ground level, throttle setting near military power, configuration gear up with 6 Mark 82s, weapons mode navigation. Mission description: in this mission, you're flying a low-level mission to a target. The mission starts with the jet pointed at steer point 4. The HUD provides a, quote, tadpole that we talked about in the HUD and a diamond displayed over the selected steer point as a steering cue. Center either of these steering cues to fly to the selected steer point. In addition to the HUD, remember the HSD or horizontal situation display, which is an MFD option, and that can be used to provide a steering line and an overhead view of the route of flight. Follow these steps to navigate along the route. Step 1. Load training mission 12, nav and timing, from the training section. Step 2. Press S or Sierra to see steer point 4 on the DED, so SDPT 4. Step 3. Adjust the throttle to fly the airspeed caret on the left side of the HUD. To fly the time of the steer point caret, match the airspeed tick mark with the TOS caret. This caret will get sensitive when you get close to the selected steer point, so don't chase it when you are within 3 to 5 miles from your steer point. Step 4. Bank the aircraft left or right to center the tadpole under the flight path marker. And when you accomplish this, the diamond will be vertically centered in the HUD. You can also use the heading scale in the HUD to line up with the vertical steering line. Your HSD provides an overhead view of your route. Press Shift F11 or Shift F12 to change the HSD range display. It is helpful to keep the steer point you are driving to on the screen. Step 5. Check your distance remaining to the selected steer point in the bottom right corner of the HUD. For example, 15 greater than 04 means about 15 miles to steer point 4. The first number is the distance in miles, the next number is selected steer point. When you get to the steer point, the distance in the HUD goes to 0. The diamond will fall away below the HUD. Step 6. Select the next steer point by pressing Sierra. Step 7. Turn to align the flight path marker over the tadpole again. Once you've done this, adjust your throttle to align the airspeed caret with the TOS caret. Step 8. Repeat these steps and practice flying the route. Do not let the airspeed and steering cues fly your jet. The tactical situation dictates the speed and position of your aircraft. If you are just driving along, then by all means follow your steering and timing cues. But if the bad guys show up, don't sail along at 300 knots and get your cranium creased. Because the airspeed caret told you to. Same thing is true of flying the route. If there is a big tank battle going on right in front of you, maneuver to avoid flying over it. You do not have to fly the line between the steer points. If you want to challenge yourself after learning the basic symbology techniques, make a tight 360-degree turn at least 25 miles from your next steer point, and try to arrive on time to your next steer point. If you don't make it, try to arrive on time to the next one, and so on. You will find that you can lose time easily, and that it's very hard to make up lost time in a fighter. Another technique you can practice to help recover lost time on a route is to cut out steer points. So you can delete the steer points and stuff. The HSD is a valuable aid when doing this because it provides a god's eye view of the route. When cutting out steer points, however, be careful since you'll probably find yourself flying through a worse or at least different ground threat picture than you anticipated. Alright, so let me show you how to do this. First thing I'm going to show you is the diamond and stuff, and how it goes off the HUD and stuff. So that said, let's start Falcon 4.0 Allied Force. Alright, we're in game. Sorry, I was getting a drink. So set up, we're good. Alright, training. Navigation and timing. This is a skill you need for combat missions where you must get your bombs on target on time. Use the avionics in the jet and control your airspeed and heading to fly a precise route. So en route, that's me. 15 Delta, block 52. So let's just look at this here. So here's the steer points in game, right? So we're heading to steer point 4. What we're going to do, let's see how long is all this. We're probably going to fly one circle. So we're going to fly to steer point 3. We're going to go to steer point 3. So we're going to go around this. So we're going to fly the whole thing. So we're gonna do just here, 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 and then back. Fly over the airfield and then back to 3. Is what we're gonna do. So, oh, that's nice. All right, so let's do it. All right, so on the road to steer point 4, on the in the air. So we just check everything. On. Alright, so we're selected steer point 4, as you can see there, right? So we're 28 miles from steer point 4, 3 minutes 47 seconds till we get there, and you can see the caret is right there. It's hard to see. Let me do this. So we're going a little fast, so we need to be like 400 knots. So you see the caret that's to the left of the to the right of the airspeed tape. See, right now we are on time. We're doing it on time. We're gonna arrive on time if we keep our, if we keep it there. Okay. So that's that. Now we're going a little too well. We don't have to be exact, but we're pretty much doing it okay. So you can see the tadpole and the flight path marker, and you can see the diamond right below, right? So we're heading straight to the steer point. Okay. So watch what happens when I put the diamond outside of the hood. I'm just gonna go out of this a little bit. If I put it outside of the hood, watch, it'll have a cross through it. Watch. Any second now. See, now it has a cross, and it's telling me right now, that cross is telling me steer point is directly to the left. So if I turn to the left, the steer point will be in view. There it is. Okay. Same thing happens, up. So like if I was to dip my nose, and it would go, to the top of the hood, past the top of the hood, it would show a cross. And if I was to be too high and it would be below me, it would show a cross as well below me. That's to the right, see? Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So if I put it here, I'm going to go quick, but if I do it here, see there's a cross there. It's hard to see, but it's there. Okay? Shows that it's above me. And if I do this, shows a cross below me, right? So that's how that works. So we can basically just fly this. We don't have to do anything. We can just fly this. I don't know what altitude we're supposed to be at. A way you can tell is check the kneeboard. And you can see we are on the caret, so we're going to get there right on time. And you can see the HSD. Forget the HSD. You see that flashing circle? That is our selected steer point. If we go here and we select something else, it stops blinking, but we're going to go back, okay? So we are right on path. And we are at the selected steer point 4. I'll show you what happens when it's like auto versus manual, okay? So right now it's the steer point. We're at manual mode, right? So let me return. So we're manual. So when we go over this steer point, we have to click this button here to the increment switch to increment to steer point 5 manually. See, now it's below us, right? So we are pretty much over the steer point. We see we're 20 seconds out. We're 2 nautical miles away. It's right below us, okay? And you don't want to usually fly the steer point. You want to turn a little bit before the steer point, okay? But we're going to fly over it and then turn around so I can show you. So we're flying directly over it, right? 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so now it flipped. The tadpole flips. So now we are over the steer point. Now it's behind us. You can see it did not change. The steer point did not change to steer point 5 automatically. So we have to go to the increment switch, go up, Now steer point 5 is selected. Now everything is to steer point 5. Okay? So we're going too fast, so we need to lower the throttle. See, steer point 5 is... Well, let me just... there you go. Steer point 5 is blinking. See that? Right there. Steer point 5 is blinking. We're at steer point... We're going to steer point 5 now. And we're now a little bit slow, so we're going to gain some altitude. We're 30 miles away. And so we had to manually go to steer point 5, right? So if you want to make it automatic, you can do click 4 and then do sequence. Do you see a sequence? Now it's auto. See that? You can do manual again if you want. But now you see it's set to auto, right? Steer point 5, it changed from manual to auto. Now when we reach steer point 5, it will automatically increment to steer point 6. So we don't need to go and do steer point 6 or anything like that, okay? It'll just do it itself now because we set it to auto. So we can just do return. And now you can see on here it says steer point 5A. The alpha means automatic. So we're going to get, when we reach steer point 5, it'll automatically switch to steer point 6 or whatever. So that shows it's automatic mode. Okay. So we're too fast. So now we need to kind of lower the throttle a bit. And with this, within an automatic mode, we can turn on the autopilot by doing like auto hold and steering select. If we do that, it'll follow the steer points. And, you know, because it's set to auto, when we reach steer point 5, it'll automatically increment to steer point 6, and the autopilot will automatically take us to steer point 6 after reaching steer point 5 because it's set to auto. If it was set to manual, it would reach steer point 5 and then kind of circle around because it would try to, you know, go back to steer point 5 even though we just passed it, so it would kind of fuck up a bit. So that's why you have it set to auto for the autopilot. Automatic mode, so once you reach it, the autopilot can automatically the autopilot can fly the entire steer point chain for you. The only thing it doesn't do is throttle, so you have to manage your throttle yourself. Okay. So we're a little bit fast, as you can see with the carrot. We're a little bit fast. So we need to lower the speed a bit. Now we're pretty much there. I know my altitude's all over the place, but it's okay. A little bit less power, just to be with the carrot. And if I go to the cruise page 5, you can see Tomo's steer point is set. Okay. And this is required ground speed. Your required ground speed is 394 knots in order to actually get to the steer point on time. Okay. .46 seconds out. We're a little fast. But it's okay. Just look around or fly. I don't know those shadows. That's pretty dope. From clouds and stuff. It's dope. So now it's switched to steer point 6. See that? The steer point switched to 6A. So now we can just go to 6. We don't have to go in and increment because it already switched to 6 automatically because we set it to auto mode. Okay. The manual didn't describe that, but that's a pro tip. Oh, maybe it did. I don't remember. So we're going way too fast to get to steer point 6 on time, so we need to slow down. So let's slow down. Not sure how fast we need to be, but okay, it's coming up now. Probably 300 knots. But yeah, we're basically on the steer point, or on the route. Don't have to be exactly on it, but also I'm aware that you can do the training missions in Korea as well. I'm not going to bother doing that. We're a little bit fast, but it's okay. Just gonna slow down a bit. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Right on time. Remember, it gets more sensitive the closer you get to it. Alright, switch to steer point 7. So now we turn to steer point 7. And get some speed. You can see the tide pool is lining up and everything. With the flight path marker. And then, you know, the steer point's right there. So, right below. So that's perfect. That's what we want. So if we continue on, we'll be late, but right now we'll be okay. Just have to gain speed slowly. Damn, it's pretty much perfect. How fast do we need to go? Damn. Let's get him to speed a bit. There we go. Go about 500 knots or something. 480 knots. Damn. What is that? That's like a factory. Look at that, right on time. Perfect. It's an airport down there. Nice. Airport way out there. And we're right on time. Damn. That's literally perfect. That's dope. So it's about to switch to steer point 8 any second. A little bit fast. Steer point 8. So you just slow down. Now, the tadpole and everything, all the steering cues and stuff, won't tell you the, like, the radio or whatever that you need to fly. Like, it won't tell you the direction you need to fly, like, in the HUD and stuff. Like, you won't know the direction you need to fly to actually get there, you know what I mean? So, like, like, you could come in from any angle, and the tadpole will, you know, say you're heading directly to the steer point. It only shows you direct to the steer point. It doesn't tell you, like, you know, the route you need to fly. That's what your HSD is for. So this here. So if we look at our... Well, this is set to nav. Or it's not showing we are en route. Oh, but the bearing pointer, you see the bearing pointer there? That there's showing we are flying direct to, so it's fine. Now if we set our course... This is a little advanced, but if we set our course, it should line up. So our course is almost lined up, so it shows that, like, we are a little bit... we need to be to the... we're a little slow, hold on. We need to be... Well, in the real F16, it's not 5-degree increments that you can do the... In the real F16, it's not 5-degree increments for the course. You can do any degree you want, but you can see the course team indicator slowly coming in, you know, on the 3, 4, 5-degree course to the steer point, which I think is what we need. I'm not sure. Oh, a little slow because I was teaching, but yeah, let me switch that back. Alright, we're pretty much good. And there's the airport that we saw. Nice. As you can see, we're pretty much on time. Switch to 9, there you go. So we need to slow down a little bit and turn to steer point 9. There we go, 320. Flying direct 2. Just like that. Pretty dope, right? So it's actually it's pretty easy to do, you know? It's not too hard. They've added a lot of entities, like buildings and stuff. Like everything you see, like buildings and stuff, you can like destroy any of it, you know? It's all an entity. They're not static. In fact, like if you have no collisions off, you can crash into the buildings, blow up the building and everything. And there's the airbase right there that we took off from, supposedly. So this is our last steer point. We'll just go around to steer point 3. And just, you know, make one complete route, since we didn't exactly get a chance to take off. Alright, there we go. Check my indicator. Too fast. There we go. Right on time. Nice. You're always playing with the throttle just a little bit. Yep, steer point 2. Since steer point 1 is the airfield. Since steer point 1 is the like the airfield itself, like the takeoff, we need to turn to, it'll go to steer point 2, not 1, so to just keep going all the way around. So we need to gain some speed. And there's the airfield. I'm not sure if... let's see here. Yeah, I think when you do your entire flight, oh yeah, see, required ground speed 1,007 knots. Yeah, so it's the carrot is basically unusable now. So because we did the flight already, because we're supposed to land, we're not supposed to keep flying. So we can just disregard the time that we get there because we already arrived on time for everything. So we'll just stay at like 400 knots or so. And when we arrive at steer point 3, that'll be it. So you can see it's not too bad. Navigation is pretty easy in the F-16. Ha! Look at that. It's a square texture. That's funny. There's tiles. This game's old. And at the time, this game was revolutionary for Falcon 4. So much more stuff was implemented at the time. And this was like... Then you had Red Viper. That was a mod for this. And now Red Viper basically became Free Falcon. So we're literally direct to the steer point. See the tadpole is right in the flight path marker. That's what you want. Alright, steer point 3 selected. I'll just fly there, and then that'll be it. Pretty cool, right? There's another A-base down there. We're pretty much perfect on the HSD. That's dope. Hey, look at that. We are literally level. We're flying perfect. Like, this is like ideal. It's hard to get like this, but this is ideal. And Mr. Steer Point 3, 2 minutes, 40 seconds out. 10 nautical miles out. By the way, last time I played Falcon BMS was a long time ago, like 2018 or something like that. And it was the x86 version. So, I played the x86 version, so I can't remember what the graphics was like or anything like that. Apparently it's so much better now. Alright, we reached tier point 3, guys. We did a complete circuit. Yeah, we did a complete circuit. So, yeah, we did the entire route. Let's fly a little bit longer, probably halfway, to tier point 4. But yeah, we're pretty much perfect here. There's another airport. There's airports everywhere. Air bases everywhere. There's one there, and there's one there. Damn. Those clouds aren't half bad for 2005. This jet's fast. But yeah, so navigating is pretty easy. As far as I hasn't talked about the bullseye or anything like that. Because the bullseye is, like, I can see it changing right now. The bullseye is right there. So 110 for 2. It's probably because we're so close to it that it's changing so quick. Alright, so right, so that's it, guys. We did it. That's all for the navigation. It's all for chapter 3. We know how to fly the jet. The next video, well, for me, is going to be the air-to-air refueling. But the next video for you guys is going to be air-to-air weapons. So we're going to go in order. So, yeah. So yeah, that's all for this part, guys. If you liked it, smash that button like a badass. Leave a comment. I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.